So, very good morning, one and all present here. So, today we have something exclusive which we are going to talk about. I recently did my program with criminal justice, and I'm basically, like how some of you might be knowing, I'm a counseling psychologist and an expressive arts therapist. And along with that, I wanted to try this legal counseling, and I did the course. The reason why, because on a day-to-day basis, when we deal with a lot of clients who come to us who are going through different kinds of traumatic experiences, and especially when people are into kind of legal trouble, there's something more which I think we need to do as a counselor, as a psychologist, other than the healing part. Of course, they need healing. Of course, they need the help to come out of whatever they're going through and move on in life. But apart from that, I think we have a bigger role in just giving them the kind of guidance or some idea about the legalities, the legal system, and what they should be knowing from the solution focused brief therapy aspect. I usually take up the client centered therapy to go with the flow of the clients, and it's our responsibility to reduce further damage when the client is going through something which is not okay to take it on. So I cannot be very passive, and just because I want to save a relationship, I cannot go through like something which is not at all okay. So at that like those kind of scenarios, it's like our responsibility to empower our clients with what are the basic legalities to know, and give referrals to an advocate who will be a member of the bar council. So though I've done my course in a brief course in law, I'm not a member of a bar council. I cannot appear in the court for my I cannot appear for my client, but what I can do is I can provide the information which will give the kind of idea to my client on what to do. So we are empowering people. So I would like to explain this process by using a few case examples. I These are some cases which I saw in the last 1 year. I'm not dealing with it right now. It's something like in the past 1.5 year, I suppose. So for my paper, I took up the paper for my program as effectiveness of legal counseling, providing that as an intervention on clients, how effective it is. And for that, I took a few cases. When I give some kind of suggestions, ideas, it's based on the facts which I cross verify and check with the experts in the field. So let me begin with a few case examples which I also did taken for my research purpose. So this client, without mentioning names, I've just put it as client A here.
ના ના કોણ ચાલશે મારો પ્રોગ્રામ ચાલુ થઈ ગયો છે તો હું ઓનલાઈન છું અત્યારે
All right. So it's client A who's aged 22, and this 22-year-old woman, she comes from a rural environment, rural background. Just because the family is not able to support uh, themselves like financially, they wanted their daughter to move on to the town or the city and to earn money, and she just came here to support herself and her family. And what happens is when she comes for work, there she gets in touch with a man who's aged 45. and she marries him in a temple in the presence of no friends, no relatives. And she has only the temple marriage receipt as her evidence. So all this information, like you gather during that, after you establish a comfortable rapport with your client, and then you get into the initial disclosure of what happened. So in the initial disclosure stage, like the reason they gave me that why they wanted to come here was the husband was the person who took the husband in this scenario, though he is not the legal husband. I'll tell you the remaining story. The person, the man, took the appointment saying that this woman, this female, is behaving in a really weird way. She is hitting herself. She is at times on getting too much angry and tearing her clothes. And one particular day, she just went out of the house, and this he went around looking for her, and finally she was sitting all alone in the terrace in midnight. So all these were something very disturbing to him, and he was scared of what would happen to her, and he wanted like her to get treated. He thought something was really wrong with her psychologically, and he wanted her to get treated, and that was the reason he fixed up an appointment. But then when I talked to the woman separately, this was the information that I received from her. In this, she did not know in the beginning that she was deceived, um, because this person, client A, was conveyed that he was a divorcee. That is the 45-year-old man who married her in a temple with no people around, I mean, no friends or no common relatives, no one. So he conveyed that he was a divorcee and he married my client A. So the man was not divorced. If you look into the real scenario, the man was not divorced, and he was now living with two women at the same time without each other's knowledge. At a point, both women come to know the truth. The man's wife then lodges a complaint on him. To prove her wrong and manage the situation, he keeps client A under house arrest. So the woman who has come to see, whom he brought to see me, the 22-year-old woman, like client A, so she is kept under house arrest. He's not letting her go outside anywhere, even to the nearby shop, and she has to be within four walls. Why? Because according to him, this wife has given a complaint, so he has to prove that he's not married and he's not living with anyone else. So he left her in this confined space, and he moved there to his wife's place. And just to prove that he is not married to anyone, and he is lawful to her alone, truthful to her alone, kind of scenario he wanted to put, and he just left this woman there. And I suggested her to regularly come and meet up with me so that I can help her from the situation which she was going through, because he was also like hitting her whenever she was developing a lot of insecurities that this man, what will happen if this man leaves me and goes away. Now I came out of from a different place and I got married, and in the workplace, because now she's lost her job as well, because they know that these both are into an affair and they were not very happy about whatever happened. And the others know the fact, no, of what happened, and this man being an womanizer and all that. And so people had warned her to not get into these kind of things with her. So it's a private company where they just terminated her. So what would she do further was her questions. Like, can she go back again to her to her village? What will they think? Should I reveal the fact that I'm married? So, according to her, it's a marriage because it happened in the presence of God and she's wearing the thali and other things, no? So, that was the scenario. And So he was verbally abusing my client A and beats her up. In this situation, client A is like, yeah, she's meeting me, and some of the suggestions. See, I know that the emotional part we do take care of, but other than that, at this point, I think there's something more that I can be doing, where I try to provide her some counseling, where I guided her to escape from the clutches, taking help from the police station. Because being in a situation where you're beaten up, she was beaten up so hard, to the extent that her ears were bleeding. So what will happen to you if your some internal organs are damaged, or nobody has the right to hit the other person, and what is the reason for him hitting you? See, whether there's reason or not, you're not supposed to hit the other person, that's a different thing. But like, what is the reason? He did something wrong, and you question about that. He has no rights to lay hands on you. So that's one thing. And I had to educate her that one man living with two women is not acceptable. And it's not legally acceptable, it's not morally, ethically also acceptable. And at the same time, he has deceived her by not conveying the information that he was not yet divorced. He's not divorced. So he's cheating two women. So that one woman has given a complaint. So he's going there, and he wants to, maybe he wants to get rid of that woman also. So what will she do at that point of time? Because he is always looking at his safety. Suppose if this woman does, he did not come to know. The other, I'm talking about the wife. The wife did not come to know. Maybe he would have been living with this woman, my client. So I just told her, if at all you're not getting the space to move to your place, that's a safe place for you right now, because you're emotionally very weak. You're physically also very weak, because she's not been eating properly due to all these confusions, conditions, and all that. So if at all he does not does this to you, you just go to, when you're bleeding and when you're beaten up so badly, please go to the Mahila station and just give a complaint, and take their help to reach to your place. If you have difficulty and if you feel that you're being stopped from going out, then go to the station, they'll help you, they'll call your parents, or either they'll provide you the necessary guidelines and support system for you to reach to your parents home safely. So that was one thing I told her. And if at all you feel that this is still a marriage, because she's still not able to accept the fact that it's not a considered, it's not a registered marriage, and nobody can accept it as a marriage as long as the man is a divorcee and there is some receipt of marriage. Both being Hindus, there's no receipt of marriage, and that token of the temple cannot be taken as an evidence. So you can lodge a complaint on the man for cheating, claiming to be a divorcee. That's one thing you can do. See, one thing is, you can just, if you feel that this is not necessary anymore to me and you can move on in life, then please just don't, you don't have to open up about it and just say that you are unwell and something, and you can just get away from it. You can just psychologically tune yourself to move on in life. That's one decision you can take. If at all you are not able to do that, and you still consider that this man is your husband because you were living with him for quite some time, and if that makes you feel guilty, or if you're not able to, like, you feel that next, if you're going to make a marriage, you're not you don't know whether it's going to be, you're going to consider it as second marriage, or if you're like really guilty about whatever happened to you and you still consider it as a marriage, then you have to, like, legally lodge a complaint on this man for cheating, claiming to be a divorcee, because it's a cheating case. The marriage will be dismissed as he has not taken legal separation for the wife, is something I educated her on. You cannot consider this to be a marriage, is something I educated her on. Then, other than that, I was like telling her about the PWDV Act, which is protection of women against domestic violence. Any form of violence. It could be psychological, emotional, physical, verbal, financial abuse that someone can do to you. You can file these kind of, I mean, if you're going to complain, obviously it all comes under the domestic violence act, and they are legally answerable. So the law is very strong of people who are in a situation like client A. So this is what I educated her on. So what I came to know is, when I was talking to this woman privately, I was only trying to empower her. And this man puts his chair very close to the door where we both are talking, and he was overhearing that. I came to know that from my receptionist. My receptionist was asking him to move and sit. We arranged chairs in a different way, but he was like, he moved the chair closer and he was sitting there. And he was so agitated when he was sitting outside, like going around the window, if he could like hear something. That was what he was trying to do. And so when I opened the door, he was right in front of the door to call him, and he puts on a very different picture inside. And I understood that, I told him, I did not tell him all this, but I told him that, please bring her again. I want to do some work in order to heal herself. But I knew very well that he would not come back, because sometimes when we empower the other party who's causing, the person who's causing offensive behavior will definitely not bring the other party, because if the other party becomes empowered, it's a danger for the man. No, so he can get arrested for what he has done. So that the legal system will take care of, but our role as um, providing the kind of guidance can be this. Later on, I think the system will help, whether it is a station or whether it is moving to the court. And every person has the right to legal aid. And there are some system where if there is someone who is from the marginalized class, they're really in poverty, they cannot like get a paid advocate for themselves, then the court has the system of providing free legal aid for the indigent. Indigent is those who cannot afford to like talk for themselves or like provide. And otherwise, like when generally when someone who's victimized, for generally someone who's victimized, the prosecutor will take up the role of like to talk for them. So it's the arrangement made by the government, the state government. We are moving on to client B. So, client B was a female, 40 years old, wife of a military officer, and she comes to know her husband's secret affair with her cousin sister, who is 24 years old. And I have not mentioned the age of the officer. He must be some 5 years elder to her, I suppose. Definitely above 40. So that my client B has been married for past 18 years, and the last 2 3 years she found that husband cheating on her. When he came on holidays to her native place, he she confirms that relationship because she witnessed they both being together. And due to that, there were frequent quarrels between the husband and the wife, and they have two adolescent kids. So in this case, like the woman was really helpless, and she's so anxious that the husband will go out of the clutches. She wants to like again, like take control of the like her life, because she loves her husband, and she cannot let him go away with someone else. She's over possessive now, and any small thing he does also, she gets triggered, agitated, and she like pounces on him and troubles him and wants answers from him, and he gets like really annoyed with whatever is like she does, and he hits her back. So there's a lot of verbal abuse from both the sides. So in this kind of a case, the kind of guidance we had to provide is the husband, the officer was not very cooperative. When he was talking to me, this is something in the past. So like when he was talking to me, like he was telling me that. No, he wanted to maintain that image. People are different, so I'm not like we cannot generalize that everybody into this profession is like this. But he wanted to like maintain that kind of impression that I'm an officer, and when I just asked him a few things about like to just reassure what client B has told me. He was having a very rigid body language, and he was very rigid in his conversations, and he also told me that you're asking me these questions, but I do believe that my experience is equal to your age, is what he told me. He knows nothing about my age anyway, but I'm just telling you that this is the kind of response he gave me, and he was not very cooperative. But I just took that initiative to also ask him to meet up with me privately, because maybe in the presence of the wife and she being over anxious, and she's not able to even sit in the waiting hall because she wants to know what the husband is speaking inside. So this was something which my reception communicates to me, that she's very restless and all that, like she wants to barge in any moment. And like, no, I think that even if someone wants to change, no, when you're like too clingy and naggy, it's suffocating for the other person when we try to bring in a change from the other person also. That's why I asked him to come separately, but he did not come, though I just politely requested him. And I felt the wife needed some medical support because she was going through extreme anxiety. And other than that, what legally we can look upon here is we can provide couple counseling for the husband and wife when both are cooperative and both are participative. If not, if both are not participating, also, if one person is able to be stable and make changes, automatically there can be changes in the other person also. That we have seen in many cases. When there are two people, if not both are not cooperative also, if one person is very cooperative who comes regularly and shows some change in behavior, the other person also tends to change, because we some people reciprocate what we give outside. So that way certain things have worked out well. But when both are not in a state, she is extremely anxious, and this person, and she doesn't listen, she wants to talk more, but it's only because of her own vulnerability. Only she knows the pain that she could go through. I understand that. And if couple counseling could have been provided to both, then it would be fine. And if the husband is not comfortable with me and he wants to meet up with a male counselor, then that should also be a good option. So what as a psychologist we generally focus on is not that the client has to come to me and get like find themselves to be fine later on after the intervention. Anybody you go to, if some areas are not my areas of expertise, I can still refer them to someone else who's an expert in that area. So that way they'll be more comfortable. If the husband is more comfortable with someone more aged, because people in our country have this kind of mindset that the more age that particular practitioner is, or that particular professional is, they're more skilled. That kind of mindset many people have, but I don't believe in that. We cannot generalize like that. We have a lot of young people who are like very updated and skilled and all that. There can be people who are older, but they're not updated and they're still in the old school of thought, whatever, no. Not everybody, some people. But I think if somebody has to go a long way in this profession, it's very necessary for us to keep studying. Because, like from my own experience, 3 years of UG, 2 years of post graduation, 1 year of masters of philosophy in psychology, and then I did my psychotherapy 1 year, and I was doing my PhD. My paper is not yet complete due to constraints within the university, and later on my justice course, criminal justice course. And so we keep on studying, no? And I've been into practice from 2010. uh, yeah. So getting back to this particular case, taking consideration of the spouse into this the public service, adultery charges might lead to loss of job, which is not helpful for the man and his children. So I take into consideration of what would happen if she goes for a case or something like that. So what we want is not him to be thrown out of the job or something like that, because that's not helpful anyway. It's not helpful to him. It's not helpful to the wife. It's not helpful to the children. So I told her like that is I was like trying to educate her that that's not a good option to do, and I didn't want her to take that up, because she still wants to be with the husband. Then going to the police or court will make things worse. It will not help in problem solving. So what I suggested to her is to settle down the issue in the presence of family members. That is, there could be some well wishers, and they both are relatives. Mm, I think here we have this culture of getting married to the maternal uncle, which is actually not right scientifically. But people are not, they're still in they're doing such things, though we educate them. I mean, that there's a lot of awareness about not getting into this kind of congenital marriages. Getting married to the first cousin. So such things exist, are still in practice, sadly. And yeah, so they are both from the same family, so there can be some well wishers to whom they can talk to about this. So client B, her husband, and her cousin, these three people are the people who are involved in this whatever problem. So they should sit in the presence of certain reliable elders in the family, and they can sort it out. They can sort it out. Someone from the cousin sister's family, there should be someone representing the cousin sister in the family, someone for my client, and someone for her husband should speak for. So when they speak directly, it could become an emotional conversation. So this is kind of when the parties are speaking to each other, it becomes a informal negotiation. But when there is a representative for each of the party and they are talking, it is a formal negotiation. where more than the emotions, I think people can focus on uh, the problem solving. How can we work on it? Because the woman is not ready to give up on the husband, and the husband is also not saying that I'm not going to live with her. Maybe he's interested in just for some fun time with the cousin sister of her cousin sister. Her cousin sister is his relative also. So we don't know, and I don't think it will work if no he the that particular girl whom he has an affair is half his age. So I don't think he's going to divorce his wife who has grown up children and go behind her. And I don't think she must be uh, so like someone of taking decisions rather than marrying someone of her age. I don't think she's going to marry him. So then, if there's someone, a middleman who can actually do that work, that would be more helpful. So that is what I felt, and this is what I suggested them also. So this is one thing. And in the next case here, so let's look into clients C. Okay, client C is a 35-year-old married to 34-year-old female. Client C knew about his previous live-in relationships before marriage, accepted it in a condition that it shouldn't repeat after the marriage, but wife continues the same pattern of getting into frequent relationships with ex-boyfriends and strangers who visit her studio. She being a makeup and a tattoo artist. They have a 4-year-old son. Okay, all right. So this is a male who meets me, and for a period of time, the 34-year-old female was in touch with me. We were doing work together, and she had a history of childhood abuse, constant. We call it as incest. Incest is having sexual relationships within close family members. It's very saddening to hear this that she was raped multiple times by her brothers, and when she went and spoke about it from to her mother, she was helpless because her dad was a drunkard, and she had her own insecurities. She was financially dependent in a joint family on others, and she was living a very pathetic life, and she did not have education. She did not stand up for her daughter. Maybe she also could have been going through similar things, we don't know. So they consider survival more important: food, shelter, basic needs. So she wanted her to compromise on it, which is absolutely wrong. Which is absolutely wrong, morally, ethically, legally. It's child abuse again. But then the childhood bad experiences maybe converted this woman when she became an adult into whatever she is today. So she was in a live-in relationship with this husband before marriage, and she got pregnant. And just because she got pregnant, they wanted to the marriage to happen as soon as possible. And in the first year of marriage, she delivers her son. But then this man who was in a live-in with her knows about her previous relationships. But then he marries her on a condition that she's not going to be in touch with any of them hereafter. But she goes against what he says, and he showed me the witness of her conversations with other people, and she says that I'm going to my native, and there She stays with her cousin whom she was in relationship with. They have sexual relationship. The conversations was with the others whom she was in a relationship earlier. Also, she's continuing that, and she's having sex chat with them. So all that evidence he has. And finally, she gets into a relationship with a new person who used to regularly visit her at her workplace. And so that man has started extracting money from her, and at the same time, like saying that he was in love with her. Okay. And this man comes to know about all this because she's been demanding money. They're living in the same house. She's been demanding money to give it to that man. So she openly says that I have a husband, I have a boyfriend. And she is not able to understand that it is something morally wrong, ethically wrong. She's not able to understand that, though I try to, because I think her own bad experiences from childhood has made her into a very different person, and it could be a personality disorder that she is having right now. Multiple partners, frequent change of partners. One particular day, what happens is she takes her 4-year-old son and goes away with that new boyfriend of hers. And this man has no idea or clue of where she is. And then he comes and meets me. So the couple counseling is going on. And during that process, what happens one particular day is she told me that the boyfriend is persuading her to come and live with him. And so this the during this process, the wife elopes with the son. So what guidance I could provide to this man is to file a complaint in the police station of the missing wife and the son, because his son was very important to him. And there is a very strong bond between the father and the son. And they were living in a joint family with the in-laws, husband, and everybody were very much concerned about the child. And yeah, couple counseling was yeah, if we did on that point, file a complaint in the police station on missing wife and son, and later seek legal help for divorce. So this woman wanted to divorce him for a very long time. She's been conveying that in the sessions also, but this man was much concerned about the son, and he was not willing to go in for divorce. But now that she went away, she went to the extent of going away, and I don't think it would be right to force somebody to again live with the person whom they are not interested in. See, whether it is right or wrong, it's a different thing. But when I'm not interested to live with somebody, who can force that person to love someone with whom they don't want to love now? Maybe they had some attraction in the past, but now when they're not interested, you cannot force them to live with that person. That nobody can do. Even counseling, we are just being a facilitator to help people to take the necessary decisions that they want to take. We cannot force them to forcefully love the husband, or no, it is their decision. We can make them think about the pros and cons. We can make them work on cost benefit analysis, but these are certain things we can do. And so when he also conveyed to me that he was receiving some threat from this boyfriend of hers, that he would murder him if he comes in their path. We don't know what is the intention of the person, because he's used to getting a lot of money from her, and there's free sex again. And the very funny thing is that that boy whom this woman is in a relationship is, that man is quite younger in age to her. I don't think He would be marrying her quite young in age, must be from 7 to 8 years age difference, and he has a girlfriend, and he's openly stating that uh, he's going to marry her. It's okay. I want to continue a relationship with you as well, is what she conveyed to me. And she was also upset about that fact. So during those phases, I've like told her many times that towards the end, you have a beautiful family which you did not have earlier. And I think like you need to like safeguard the marriage. You have to take into consideration your son as son, your son's future, your son's life, and like the stepfather might not be as considerate as your husband, and this man has not given you, your boyfriend has not given you any kind of confirmation that he's going to marry you, and you're not yet divorced. And so what will you do if he's not marrying you or he's not in a relationship with you? What is the what who will take care of the child? No, the child needs a father figure in life. And you are also not able to see, if you say that I'm not willing, if you have a proper reason to say that this man is doing such things and I don't want to live with this man, you can take a proper divorce and move out. But you have nothing to say against your husband. So then, why don't you just reconsider loving him and like do some work on? I will help you to do some work on yourself to heal your past traumas, which will help you function better today's certain things which I spoke to her about. But then there is also this intervening factor of that boyfriend. If at all that character did not exist, also maybe there could we could see some changes, and she would also continue the process of counseling. But though she's done all this, I feel pathetic towards her and the husband, and moreover the child, the 4-year-old child, who's in very close ties with the grandparents and father. Suddenly you put the child into a different environment and living with a stranger man. He will call him uncle or call him appa, I don't know. So what is his scenario? Tomorrow he has to get into a school, and financially she might need that, no, because need a support system, and this man is exploiting all your money. So what is the plight of your son is one thing. And very pathetically, when the mother came to know that the daughter is doing all this, so this man went and spoke to the woman's family that she's doing all this. They too agreed what was happening, and because they were also character assassinating her for a very long time, because she was not staying at home and she was staying outside. They were not happy with certain facts. Though the family is the reason for her becoming this kind of a person, they were blaming her when they were supportive of the husband, her husband, when he went there. And very, very pathetically, when the mother comes to know about everything that she did even after marriage, she was unable to bear that pain, and she committed suicide. She burned herself. So, what was very alarming to me is that even after that incident, she continued doing things which she's not supposed to do. If at all she felt some remorse or no, she wouldn't have done that, no. And maybe it's a personality disorder which she developed. And yeah, only if the person is like able to help herself, she can bring about a change. So for this client C, my this male client who's 35-year-old, I suggested these things. So I suggested that because he had evidence of adultery, he would easily get custody of his son. So these are some things legally you can like I educated them on. Yeah. So I think I don't want you to overload you with more cases. It might lead to confusion. So I want to hear from each of you about certain things which you would like to ask me, or anything that you want to share. You can. Hope you remember that we began with this. So these clients where the legal counseling provided the clients mentioned below are from June 24 to 25. So generally ongoing cases we don't take it for case study. When it's like completed we deal with it, and if you have anything to go ahead you want to share, everyone can talk.
Ma'am,
Yes.
uh, ma'am, on the one first case, you told you suggested that lady to go to Mahila station.
Hmm.
So, as a counselor, also we need to connect with such kind of samsthas or any other trusts or
Definitely,
NGOs.
definitely, madam. Why I'm suggesting that is because when we have to make a referral, it's important for us to know the people. Even I told you that though we can provide a guidance, we need to give referral to advocates. So I can give a contact number, and
Okay.
similarly, police stations are not, I believe, the way they're displaying in the cinemas. I know
Yes.
how they treat us in people friendly ways because I've been to the station for different reasons for my clients at times. And they do like call you because they go and say that we are on this process. You can get information from the person also. We don't reveal personal confidential information on of any people, but we do just say for what purpose they came. They just came for couple counseling, this is the work we are doing or something, just to say. So they are friendly enough to provide their contact numbers. At any emergency, please uh,
Contacts you and
yeah,
service.
yeah. And it's like easy for us to get the mail address of the superintendent of police, or no, it's like quite open. So you can even send a mail that you're going through this. If it's in a very serious case that you want immediate help, we don't have to feel that helpless. If they're physically abusing you to the extent of bleeding and your house arrested, and in such cases, no, so immediately you send a mail, they will respond immediately. Or a
Okay.
registered post.
Hmm.
Go to a government medical doctor. You've been beaten, or all night they made you cry, or they abducted you in a vehicle and troubled you. It happens in the family also.
Yes, yes.
In those
Agree.
cases, immediately, like you call the 100, they'll come and help. Nobody is a fool as the other party thinks. There are cameras everywhere, they can check whether what this woman is saying and what is like happening is the fact. We can also educate people. That's sometimes when we go for counseling, like to the police, I've seen this marginalized classes. They counsel both, and they make them to நீங்க எழுதி கொடுத்துட்டு போங்க, write a statement to us. No such things they say, uh, which they abide by after signing. But I think if you want to convert that into a case, I think we need to like get a receipt of the
Hmm.
CSR. We call it as the society minister, what do you call it? CSR is the registry, community service register. Community service
Communities.
register receipt you need to get when you give a complaint letter in the police station, which is an acknowledgement that you have reported this. which is a very important thing for you to carry this forward when it's going to become a case.
Got it, ma'am. Thank you.
Welcome. Anyone else wants to add on?
स्वाति जी, सबसे सबसे पहले तो मेरा लॉट ऑफ थैंक्स टू यू. यू हैव टेकन अ वेरी apt subject for the discussion and presentation, and this is the need of the hour actually nowadays, when we are, I have been counseling to hundreds of couples nowadays. Okay,
Hmm.
most of all having this extramarital affair, or they have third person into the life, or uh, so, and yes, why this criminal mentality is coming, we do not know. Sometimes because of the anger management issues are there, because of extramarital affair, or maybe the financial issues are there sometime, or we do not know. And somehow people are, they do not have patience nowadays. Okay, either you can say earlier we used to tell that, ladies are having more patient. Matlab, compared to man, why lady was respected like Devi, because ekdam pura, she used to take everybody together, chota mota issue bhi hota tha, so she used to take everybody here. But here I find even ladies are also impatient, and they are also more broad nowadays. Okay, like if I am handling 10 cases of a extramarital affair, I come to know even 6 or 7 are from the ladies' side, and only 3 or 4 from the male side. And then nowadays, this checking of the mobile each other evening, they spend around 1.5 hour with whom you have talked and all these things. So slowly, this turns into criminology. Okay, but I limit myself to only our field of activity, because I have seen. I had one case. I'll just share something for benefit of group
Sure.
here. That a man used to drink and beat his wife. Okay, so his wife came to me and she said, "Ke sir, dekhiye." So she had bruises also, marks and bruises, like animal behavior was displayed there. So I counseled her and I said, okay, see, you are supposed to do one thing. Whenever such thing happens next, so you have some people, either you record on your phone or immediately go to the police station, okay, and register a complaint, because visible marks were there. She had a visible marks. She said, okay. So she followed me and she went to the police station. And after the next incidents, police came and arrested the husband. Okay, now police has got their own treatment, to handle this kind of cases. So police wanted to show that when you beat somebody, what happens. So he was taken into the custody and they started beating this. Now this lady who could not see, that sound and all in a police station, it was very difficult.
Yes,
So
yes.
she went and fell into the feet of the police. Arey, he's my husband, leave him. Now what has happened? The lady who wanted to safeguard herself from a husband who is, brutally attacking her. Now she has become advocate to the police. Can leave my husband now. Okay. Then ultimately what happened? This husband become more aggrieved. And then this lady again came to me. I said, no, you know very well what is to be done. Once I see, he would have been into the custody for 3, 4, 5 days, or some case would have been run. It was okay, but you requested police to leave. So now that fellow is more aggrieved. Okay, so there is no compromise in your marriage. You have to say bye bye. So what happens that once I establish that there is no reconciliation chances, whether irrespective of son is there, daughter is there, or nothing is there, I have my own ways of establishing the compatibility mode. Okay, like in some of the cases, one extramarital affair, second extramarital affair, and all are caught red-handed. In a hotel booking, everything is done. No. So this kind of people nowadays even keep the detective agencies. If you have
Yes,
heard
yes,
about it, like rich people, a husband is keeping detective agency for the wife, and wife is keeping hiring a detective for the husband, where he is going and give me report. So they have all these things available. So I restrict myself to my periphery. Okay, and once I guide it, I leave it up to their best wisdom. Even I because see, as a counselor, we should not be a judge. let me tell you one thing.
Yes.
आपने कभी भी ये मत बोलिए कि आप, you can understand Hindi, you can
No,
understand
no,
Hindi.
no, no.
Okay, okay. We are supposed to tell in this case, a, this can be happen A, this can happen B, this can happen C. Okay.
Yes.
Now what you would like to handle? Okay.
Correct.
So we have to leave it to up to their wisdom and their judgment, because we cannot impose our thoughts. Because sometimes people ask me, sir, if you would have in my position, how you would have handled this situation, or ABC, which one you would have chosen. So I tell them that if I would have been in your position, this situation would never have come, because they try to identify that, how we are, because you have allowed, like, and my clients are only top class people. You can say CEO hai, executive hai, HOD hai, principal hai, MD doctor, MBBS doctor, advocate, chartered accountant, all. Because I retired from a very senior position of the government, so my client also like that only. So one lady came and told me that she's a executive, a senior executive in the company. So she said, "Sir, I am having a problem for harassment from the management. Okay, in a various forum. And last 2 years, it has I am being tortured." So I told very clearly that, madam, they are not torturing you. They are not torturing you. You have allowed to torture you. On a very first day, when the boss has talked something nonsense, or boss has behaved something nonsense, why you didn't slap him first day? That time, putting a hand on the shoulder, you allowed. Then after offering a drink into the party, you allowed.
So why were
Then
you
after,
passive?
so everything you allowed for over 2 years. Now you are telling, sir, I am harassed like this thing. Okay. So my humble is that we only show the mirror to them and tell, this is possible, this is possible, this is possible. Because we cannot run even after this helping. So, even this helping hand जो है आपकी जो ladies की agencies वगैरह जो है, in Hindi it is called Guru Sudhar Yojana, Mahila Vikas Yojana. There are so many. Now everybody has got different treatment to handle. All are not at par. And tomorrow if something is not done to those people, come and ask, sir, you recommended to me go there, and I am not finding it. In fact, I am more harassed now.
Yeah.
And ladies also have the that sense, the how the person is treating me, in which way, which thought, everything they know. Ladies has that point, sixth sense.
No, agree. So sometime you allow, and then after some time you say, no, I am being no. So you actually, the first time you should have said no, or second time or third time. After 2 years you said multiple time I have been tortured. Then what you were doing so far?
So in the corporate, when I was into it, and a few broad cases or such things. So like I just so as you rightly said, like we give it to them, we only give them a option. So I told them there is posh committee where majority are women, and the head of the posh committee is again a woman. So you go and talk to her, to the person. So I'm not going to talk to you. I'm not going to act like a spokesperson. But you have to like talk to them about what is happening in a confidential space where they would take the right kind of action. If you are planning to like want that security and you're not able to handle it yourself, first option
Agree.
is you handle it yourself.
Agree, madam. But what happens that even if you go to post committee after 2 years of such, so they will also ask me why you are keeping quiet for 2 years.
No,
What
immediately I'm
happens?
saying when such things are
Exactly.
happening.
So sometime what happens, the young lady executives, they want promotion, they want transfer, they want to travel lot of abroad. So when they travel many time abroad, they may have to be with the male colleagues in a team or something like that. So every time they are enjoying, for it is not that it was torturing. It was that time, up to that time it was a comfort zone for them, and suddenly now it has not become a comfort zone for them. That is the case. Otherwise every company has got some kind of grievances sale in terms of any kind of mental or
Yeah, that
physical
is what
harassment and all.
happened in the recent in like in the film industry also. The committee which they had and people were raising queries about it. I think you are aware of the Hale.
Incidentally, I am staying very close by to that film city here, so I get a lot of client from even the TV industries, and they tell me also, sir, if you are seeing this serial, I am in that serial, and I don't see any serial. Okay, so there is a I'm staying in a Mumbai, in a area where there is a nearby that film. So all strugglers are coming to me. Many of them, particularly ladies or gents, they are coming to me. They have their own exploitation, industrial exploitation is there. But I said that the voice is to be raised at very first or second instances,
Exactly.
not after 2 years of this thing. And yes, as a psychologist, I would suggest to young psychologists also. Okay, because I'm at 64 now. I'm having 22 years practice. So young people, that you are only a person who is supposed to guide somebody. You are, first of all, you are not supposed to decide on behalf of them. Because some, I have seen some psychologists, when I talk to them, they get agitated if the client doesn't do as per his choice.
Yeah, yeah.
Like you tell me, "Ke, sir, this can be happen." Now if I don't accept that thing, you get agitated. So I said, what kind of psychologist you are? You are supposed to be mature person.
It's
Whereas,
very important for us to also do
particularly
self
this
work on that.
young generation, I do not know this young generation, those who have attained some kind of counseling degrees or something. So they themselves are impatient actually, and they want that once or twice the client's problem must be solved. He should be happy client. He may not be happy with you. I'm also having, some client coming to me. They said, "Sir, you are not doing me this thing. You are not treating me this thing. I went to that psychologist. He talked to me like that." So they have trial and error method. They go to 10 psychologists and then come to you. So they have all comparative study, that what this fellow did, what that fellow did, what this fellow did. So everything, they talk everything to me. So this is what exactly our boundary line. We are supposed to draw a boundary line where I am supposed to go, up to what
Understood.
extent I am supposed to go.
And
Okay.
one more point
Like
I
like
wanted
like
to,
that lady was telling me, "Sir, if you come to my house, you will come to know how we are staying, and my husband is." See, 10 times he requested me. I said, "I am not here to come to your place, please. I am having my own boundary line. What I am supposed to do, I
yes.
know very well."
How
And
can she
and
ask about that? How can she
and
ask?
no, some psychologists say, "Sir, what is there?
So
She is
some will
nearby. You
ask for
should."
home visits that do happen, but I think we need to. It's our decision again. We draw boundaries and whatever, no. And one more thing I want to confirm on what Sir just mentioned was these options given to clients on this legal counseling aspect is after taking into consideration of what they really want to do. If they are saying that I am willing to see, first we always try to put people together.
Right.
That is very important. Importance of family, even in the station or in the advocates. I know many advocates, good hearted, who just want the not, they don't want it as a case, they want it first, they want the reconciliation. If that's not happening, we go to the next stage. So well, before giving suggestions, I ask what suggestions in the legal aspect only I'm talking about. Other things, like, we don't give suggestions, we go by the client centered way. So here the thing is that we're just educating them, empowering them, but after getting that information on, if they are really interested in continuing the relationship, we're not going to suggest them other options. If they say that I'm going to take a breakup, and like I wanted to divorce, I want separation and all that, then we suggest the options of what you need to do next. So like how Sir said, the decision is taken by them. We are not imposing things on our client, we are only providing the necessary information.
In that, sometimes the ego also comes in that from both the sides, means from husband side also, and wife side also. But they want to stay together, but it is not happening with from their heart, because he has done something, she has done something. They always blaming each other. So it also happens.
Yeah.
I,
All right.
I, I had a one client, my 6 to 7 session, he didn't allow me to speak at all. He had so many things to tell me, one after another, and continuously. To 6 to 7 session, I was just a listener. Okay, what he wants to tell, and all hidden emotions. In fact, right from childhood he had some trauma, and that continued. And then after that, he had a girlfriend issue, he had a wife issue, he had a second wife issue, so and so on continuously. So we have to tell them that it is not possible sometime. And if it is not possible, we should tell them very clearly nothing is possible. Reconciliation is not possible. Like I'll share one example. Like your husband had a anger problem. So some wife was preparing some coffee. Nowadays we have got that electric kettles. Immediately within 2 minutes, the water become boiling hot and you just pour coffee and all. So this wife had put some coffee into that kettle, and some argument led actually. Husband becomes so wild in that argument that hot water, see, he took that the kettle and just threw that boiling water onto the wife. Okay. Now, apparently, this is a legal case. We should have gone to police station, but they did not go to police station. That fellow immediately took her to hospital. So the care was taken, and everything was medical treatment was given. After she got some healing, then they came to me. Okay, so this has happened in our family. Okay, so I said, where is the love? It was a love marriage. Where is the love? We people have so much issues nowadays that despite having love marriage, despite having 2-3 years relationship, then after marriage only the problem starts, and then leading to this kind of all problems. Well, as you rightly said, there is a legal angle also, but I only limit myself to my territory, not more than that.
Exactly.
Ma'am, I
So
have one question. Yeah.
Because I will tell you one thing. Okay, sorry, I will just take, because tomorrow if you are called for some kind of explanation to the court or to the police station, for though your intentions are good, okay, and that what kind of rules and regulation in India we are having, then every time there will be someone that you are supposed to go and explain to yourself, living your life. So you see, here in India they don't understand that you are a counselor, you are a psychologist. Whenever there is a court summon or date summon or something seriously going on, then you are supposed to abide by rules and regulation. You cannot escape out of that. You cannot escape.
yes.
And that's why it is very necessary for every young psychologist to understand what he wants, how he wants, how he wants to manage the clients. That's all, very
Sir,
simple.
before that, before taking any plan, so we used to sign a consent form. In that we can mention it, na. We will not visit any police station. We will not visit any other things. This is we are the counselor or we are the psychologist.
No, madam, let me tell you one thing. Whatever undertaking you take, no doubt about it. But tomorrow, if that becomes suicidal case or very serious family case or something, and if police wants you, they can summon you. Okay, you cannot say that I have given he has given me undertaking, I will not come, because
Generally, we don't
once.
do that kind of thing. That's not suggested.
That's madam. I'm just expressing that we should have our own boundary lines. That's all. Because you
Yes,
are talking
yes,
about something legal. So I'm only telling that yes, while helping out, even legally also, we should save our
yeah.
boundary lines.
Yes. Why I asked you question because you have such kind of experience, and we are newly in that in this means I am
Oh,
newly in that profession. That's why I
Yeah,
had
yeah,
that
he's
question.
given you the
Yeah, I had
answer.
that question. That's why.
He's given you the answer.
Yeah.
no, no,
Yes.
Thank you.
I will only tell one thing, that the document which you are getting signed by somebody, he's your client, he's signing because he wants something from you. But tomorrow, if that is recognized by law, that is recognized by authority, and this authority wants to summon you, they can summon you. Okay, you have no excuse.
There is a necessary for us to be a little cautious when we're working with certain cases because we are also abided by law.
That's what exactly, but that's what I only say. Please be a good counselor, happy, and you should know what is to be done, what is not to be done. We are not the film style hero that we should go out of the way and help somebody, because it might cause a problem for you tomorrow.
We have
So we
our
should know
own
we should
limitations.
know our limitations.
All right, thank you, sir. Gomati ma'am has something to say. Yes.
Yeah, yeah, ma'am. Here, what all the things discussed, no, it's all very useful. Uh, Sir told so many things that also very useful. Ma'am, one question I want to ask. No, here, adultery and physical abuse related cases were discussed. But apart from this, no mental cruelty cases are there, no, ma'am, which is not visible outside.
I told you
Like
about that.
manipulation.
It also comes under the PWDV Act now. protection of
Okay.
women against domestic violence takes
Okay.
psychological and emotional abuse
Yeah.
also into consideration. If you are able to give history of the ways in which you were that particular individual was harassed psychologically, whether it was a blackmail or a kind of the kind of manipulative behavior. If you are able to like give evidence for it, or if you are able to first write and give about it,
Yeah.
then they will do the appropriate necessary help if necessary, if at all the client is wanting to go for a case.
Okay. Okay.
So I think we've spent a lot of time with
Yeah.
some useful discussion today. And thank you for all the participants who had been very actively presenting your ideas, which made the session lively and interactive. And a lot of thanks to Dr. Dharmendra, who was present today. Thank you, participants. Let's meet up at some other occasion again when we do a program together. Thank you. Thank you, all of you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Bye
Thank
bye.
you, sir.
Nice day.